Right, before we start the game against the Enchantress with Hulk, we are going to go over the build a little bit. This is a build that I made, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I called it Hulk Smashing Angry Again. And the way that this is designed to go is basically because of Hulk's force interrupt that he has, at the end of your turn, you have to discard your hand. So the focus around this deck is using the Ready for Fights, where if we have this on the table, we can flip down, end our turn, especially if we have a card that we want to hold on to, and we won't have to discard, and then we can flip down to Banner, and then we can drop to our hand size of 5, and then we can, when she's about to scheme, we can just activate that, flip back to our hero, and then take the punch because we have a lot of health to go with that. So the build on this is we're running 3 copies of Ready for a Fight. We have a Dr. Sinclair to also put in, so when we flip down Alter Ego, we can use a mental resource to heal for our recovery, which is 4. And if we have our Banner's laboratory support card, we'll be able to recover up to 6 without having to exhaust. And because Hulk can't really thwart that well, we're running some allies with that. We run with a Grant Ward, Professor X, Spider-Man Miles Morales, a Nick Fury, and Nick Fury Sr. Because when he comes out, we would be using him to remove 3 threat with it, and then we can thwart for 2. So it's like 5 threat we can actually remove off scheme in case if things get a little dicey. Also with the Ready for the Fight, because we could combo it with a Perseverance if we have that in our hand, which will give us a tough. So we run 2 copies of that. We're running a Avengers Mansion to help with getting ourselves an extra card for card draw. For an Alter Ego, we have Moon Girl, we can play her, and because Banner is a genius, we'll be able to give ourselves some more card draw on that also. We're running 2 copies of Limitless Stamina. This will be used for giving us another Ready Up. 2 copies of Power of All of Us to pay for the expensive basic cards. A Helicarrier and a Quinn Carrier, which we would use for generating a mental resource for either Moon Girl or using it for the effect if we have Grant Ward on the table, because he needs a mental resource if a treachery card comes into play. We have the 3 resource cards, and then Ingenuity, because Banner is a genius, and then 2 practice plans to go with our Ready for Fights, so we can bring that back to our hand once we use it. And the nice thing is too, when you're using the Ready for the Fight, it doesn't count as your actual flip, so we can actually use that to flip and then flip back if we need to after the activation. So we will see how that will come into effect. Also, too, there's actually one more card that should be in here. I don't think I pulled it out. I guess I didn't. There should have been a face the past in there. Yep, I forgot to take that out. Yep, and there's I also have face the past. Also. Yep. Face the past is great for Hulk. Yeah, you gotta bring Abomination into play, but because it's 3 resources and a ready up. So I think that'll flow nicely. Alright, well, let's get these all shuffled up and get the game started. So this will be my attachment. Alright. We are all set to you. Alright, so we'll draw to our hand size of 5. And we're drawing into a Hulk smash. Boundless Rage. Practice Plan. Crushing Blow. And Nick Fury Suit. Alright, well, I would love to wish she didn't have that tough on her, because I would love to just smash 13 damage on her, like, right off the rip. Let's mulligan. Boundless Rage is nice. With Crushing Blow, I can actually deal damage equal to my attack, so I can actually pop the... I could actually get Actually, I could get 13 damage off in her. No, I don't think I could. Because if I flip, pay 1. If I pay 1 for the Crushing Blow, and then I don't have the resource, unless I can mulligan into... Let's mulligan 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, man. Avengers Mansion. Now, this... That sounds illegal.
Like their entire fucking... Touch my booty. Inappropriate.
It is pretty inappropriate. We could do a basic attack. We could do a basic attack. Pop the tough. Play this. No, we still don't have enough. I feel like the smarter play would be to get the Avengers Mansion out. Or get the Quinn Carrier out. And put my Rage on hold. Or we can see what environmental research would get us.
Does she lock my kid?
Who?
When she kicks me? Widow? Because I couldn't, like, cloak. I didn't know that. I don't play against enough widows, so it's... I'd be so staggered.
So now I have to decide to discard something. Well, actually, we could play him. We could just play him, get 3 cards, see what it is. This is so indecisive here because I'm gonna probably hate everything by doing this, but I'm going to play the Mixed Fury. Well, actually, no, I can't do that. So I actually have to discard a card. Well, we'll just discard the mansion because we're not going to be able to play it anyways. I probably will regret this setup, but 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I don't have enough resources to get Moon Girl out. That makes me sad. We could at least get the Banner's Laboratory out. I keep saying Laboratory. Get this out. So my recover, so that goes up to +2. So we got +2 on that. Alright, so we don't have a hand, which is okay. So Hulk. And then Fury knocks the top off. Hulk hits for 3. Enchantress is at 13. I was so indecisive. Hulk raises up. Hulk draws up to hand size 4. So Unstoppable Force, Thunderclap, Limitless Strength, Dr. Sinclair. Fury raise up. Alright, 1 threat goes on to the main. Enchantress is going to attack. Nick will defend, so she's going to attack for 2. And then Alluring Call. Attached to your identity, force action, exhaust this card, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in play. Play a card from your hand, reducing its resource cost by 1. Alter ego action, exhaust this card, discard the card. So Nick has been defeated. And then we'll get an encounter card, which will be a Spell Blast. When revealed, if your identity has Define Trait, choose 1. If your identity has the... choose 1. Alright, so Enchantress can either scheme against us or attack. We'll let her attack. She gets +1 attack because it's in expert mode. So she's attacking for 3 and a boost. 4. So we will lose 4. So that'll take us from 18 down to 14. And it's our turn. I like to hold on to this Limitless Strength, to be honest. Unstoppable Force won't help us because... well, we actually could use Limitless. Okay, so yeah, I also forgot to do the Force response, so she should have put... so there should be 2 on here, because she attacked twice. And I don't think the Sinclair will help. Alright, we're gonna swing for 3, take her down to 10. We'll use our Limitless Strength to play a Unstoppable Force. We can ready Hulk. If you paid this card only using mental or physical resources, draw 1 card. We draw into a Genius. Wow, that's actually pretty sweet. Because now I can actually... we can do a lot of damage to her right now. We're going to hit her again for 3. Which will drop her down to 7. we're gonna play Genius to put Sinclair into play. Which we could have just played the 3 resources, done a Thunderclap to her, and that would have done 3 damage, which would have brought her down to. Am I being too greedy by doing that? Let's do it. We'll play 3. We'll do 3 resources, Thunderclap, do another 3 damage to her. So from 7, we'll drop her down to 4. And let's flip down. And we will exhaust this to discard it. We're probably going to lose that scheme. And we'll drop to hand size of 5. 1. Ready for a fight. Ready for a fight. Strength. Crushing blow. Another Hulk smash. Alright. 1 threat goes on to the main. Enchantress will scheme for 2. And it'll just be for 2. So that'll go from 3 to 5. Alright, hopefully she doesn't get an advance. No, she'll give it an assault, which will surge into under fire, which is going to also surge. So when reveal the top card of the encounter deck, and this will also surge. So love triangle. Attached to an ally you control. Otherwise, this card gains surge, so that's going to surge, and then this will also surge. So we are getting a surge train going on here. And this will probably be the advance. Nope. Kiss of Temptation, attached to your identity, exhaust this card, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card from your hand. And then this will be a Absorbing Man. Oh, I guess we can Hulk smash that. Alright. And we have nothing to thwart that down. Alright. We'll do experimental research. We'll draw a card. It's not ready for a fight, so we will discard that card. I'm going to exhaust this to get rid of it. I'm going to use a ready for a fight to play ready for a fight. I'm going to flip the Hulk. And I am going to do a... I'm going to attack Absorbing Man. I'm going to play 3 physical resources to play Hulk Smash. When you make a basic attack... When you make a basic attack, you get +10 for the attack. If you paid only but physical resources, it gains overkill. So Absorbing Man dies, and then 3 overkill damage will spill over to Enchantress, so that'll drop her down to 1. And we defeated Absorbing Man, so he will get victoried. And then he comes onto my table as an ally. So Absorbing Man has 3 hit points. He has an interrupt. When Absorbing Man attacks with thwarts, exhaust a upgrade or support you control, and then he gets +X to that power. To, well, whatever my highest one is, I think. No, just exhort. God. Alright, so we are going to have him thwart, actually. So we'll have him thwart, and we're going to exhaust our Banner's Laboratory. And he'll thwart 3 off of the main. It's actually the best thing that could have happened in that. Then he'll take 2 consequential damage. And then we will end our turn, and we'll ready up, and we don't have to worry about discarding any cards. We'll draw 4 cards. Power of All of Us, Suborbital Leap, Practice Plan, and Perseverance. Right, 1 threat goes onto the main. Enchantress will attack. We'll go ahead and take it. So she's going to attack for 2 and a boost of 1. So that'll be 3 damage. We'll drop Hulk down to 11. And then Force Interrupt, we'll put a counter onto our Hypnotic Gaze. And then we'll get a encounter card, which is the Advance. So she's going to scheme for 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this pushes. And Sovereign Sorceress. When revealed, if the crown of the Enchantress attachment is in place, stun each entity, which is not. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard power for the crown, and then reveal it. And then revealing this, it's going to put 2 threat on it. Per player. There's the crown. I'm still entitled to a shuffle. Alright, so Enchantress now gains Stalwart with that crown on, because it's expert mode. And then after she schemes against you, place 1 counter on the enchantment card. Alright, so let's alright. It is now our turn. So let's just go ahead and attack her for 3. So we defeat her second stage. Alright, so then she comes in with 18 health. And she gets toughness now. And then put the set aside Future of Despair into play. Then place additional 4 threat on it per player. So this is going to come in and play with 6 threat. We are going to use the Power of All of Us. That's not going to help us because we don't have 3 on there. I wish we would have had. Well, we can remove 3, but we need to have. If we paid only using physical resources, we could have removed all of it. Well, it's better than nothing, I guess. So we'll do the 3 resources. We'll play the suborbital leap. We'll go ahead and remove 3 threat off of here. So there's only 3 on the Future of Despair. And then we'll have Absorbing Man, Thwart, and then we'll exhaust Banner's Laboratory to remove the other 3. These are actually damage counters. I don't know why I did that. So this is gone. Oh, I was also supposed to put a charm counter in here, so forgot to do that. So 1 charm counter goes on, and then we place 1 charm counter in here for each of them. So we did that. Absorbing Man clears this off. Swordman's defeated the consequential, and he'll be victoried, so he will not be returning. But he did his job. So now, what we can do is we can flip down. So we can get the extra card draw. She can take damage now. So we got an exhaust, and we're gonna draw up to 5. So we get Grant Ward, nice. Spider-Man, nice. Face the Past, sweet. Perseverance, nice. So we can get a tough, so we can not take damage on the flip. 4, and then we can get Retaliate in that 4 extra hit points. Decisions. Alright. Villain's turn. 1 threat goes on to the main. Enchantress would scheme. But we're going to go ahead and interrupt and use our ready for a fight. So when an enemy would scheme, discard ready for a fight, change to that form, and the enemy attacks you instead. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll switch over to Hulk, and we'll go ahead and respond. And we're going to go ahead and throw the Face the Past into the Perseverance. Actually, we're not even going to have enough to do that. It's better just not to do that. Take 3 resources. She's gonna hit me for a lot. Now, but let's just take the hit. I should maybe give him advance. We'll face the past. We'll perseverance. We gain a tough. And then she's attacking for 2 and 3, 4. So 4 damage gets soaked into the tough. Force response. We put the counter on there. This flips over into Trance of Greed. I love this card. So now I'm enthralled. And then when revealed, you're confused. Okay, I'm Hulk. I don't care. And then I take 2 damage. So that'll drop me down to 9. Then we get the encounter card, which is an enthralled brute, and it has guard. And because I'm now enthralled, he gets 3 extra hit points, so he has 7. Now I regret throwing away Face the Past. Actually, no. I think I'm okay with that. So we have to... We're going to exhaust this to draw a card into a Professor X, and then if I have to play that. Which I'm okay with doing. Or if I do, I take 1 damage. You know what? I'll take the damage. I'm not gonna play it. Oh no, I have to play the. Okay, I have to play it. So, gotcha. All right, so this has to get played. I have no choice. So when Xavier comes out, we'll stun because he can stun a minion. So we'll take the stun on that. He has guard, so I can't. I can clear that, and then I can hit him for 3. And then I can just have Xavier chump block. Alright. I guess that works out, kind of. We draw up to 1, 2, 3, 4. Thunderclap would be fun. Alright, so 1 threat goes on. Enchantress will attack for 2. And then Xavier will block. She attacks for 2, 3. Choose either place 1 charm counter on the enchantment or exhaust your entity. I'll put the charm counter on. So that will put threat on there. Xavier's defeated. Hulk threw him in the way. And then force response, which we'll put another threat on here. And then he won't attack because he's stunned. And then the encounter card will be Enthralled Lackey, which comes into play. And he will quick strike Hulk him for 2. And then after this minion attacks you, place 1 charm counter on there, which will put threat on there. Alright. So we will play 3 resources. We're going to play a Thunderclap. We're going to choose up to 3 different enemies. This isn't an attack, so Enchantress, Enthrall Brute, Enthrall Lackey. Deal 3 damage to each of them. So Enchantress will lose the tough. And then Enthrall Brute takes 3 damage, and then Enthrall Lackey is defeated. And then Hulk will swing and take out the Brute. And then we have to do this. We draw a card, we can't play it, so we take a damage. And then we're going to flip down. Actually, no, I don't think we are going to flip down. We can't. We're not going to flip down. We're going to end our turn, we're going to discard our hand. We're going to back up. And then we're going to drop to our hand size of 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to get an encounter card for ducking out. So we have a limitless strength. If I could get a Hulk Smash, that would be neat. Oh no! I dropped everything. Nick Fury. I could deal with that. Goes on, attacks for 2, 3, 4. So that takes me down to 2. That puts the threat on. magical strengths. Place one charm counter on here. That becomes stunned. Place another charm counter. I become confused. So it's 6, 7, 8. And then Puppet Master. And this gets hindered. Alright, I think I'm in trouble. Hmm. Four. Nick Fury. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. We are going to exhaust to get rid of our fusion. Actually, no. We're gonna get rid of our stun, and then we're going to practice plan. Limit the stamina to ready back up. We're going to hit for 3. And then we're going to limit the stamina back in, hit again for 3. Fury will remove 2. Draw, can't play it, I take a damage. I have to discard it. Ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4. One threat on, so 6, 7. Attacking for 2. Fury blocks, so 2. Reveal this card. Attach to your identity. Fury's defeated. And we get 1 goes on here, so it's now back at 2, 4, 6, 8. Counter card is the Trickster Tango. The villains gain Stalwart. This comes up 4. And then we get Zax. And he has Retaliate. 12 damage. We're gonna hit her for 3. Drop her down to 8. And then we're gonna ready for a fight. We're gonna crushing blow, physical resource, deal 3 damage. So they're at 5. We're gonna face the pass. Brings out a domination. Bringing me back up. 1, 2, 3. I am no longer allowed to attack. This gets removed, or I can't attack with my hero, I should say. But I can attack with my allies. And it just so happens I had a power of all of us and a perseverance. So I can put Spider-Man Miles Morales into play. He has I'm going to give him +2 to his attack. So he has 4 attack. And then I'm going to play Grant Warden for free. And Spider-Man is going to deal 4 damage to the Enchantress. Leave her with 1 damage. Grant Ward's going to hit for 2, and we win. So, I guess Hulk needs friends, if you will. Wow, that was I was losing that turn if I didn't pull something out. That's great. I'm glad I held on to that. Just making sure I didn't cheat anywhere. No one has guard, right? Nope, we're good. Yep, that's a win. Hulk wins with 1 HP. And and that is why I don't care what anyone says. This is a great card. But all right, I was feeling pretty rushed on that one. The first turn of the game put me in a weird spot because I didn't know how I wanted to do it, and then I was thinking about all the threats that can come into play. So I guess I kind of went with let's just swing away and just smash. Could not be seduced by the Enchantress. All right, thanks for checking that out. See you.